Welcome back to Foeontheflicks. I'm back with another review on this movie called Who Invited Them? It's one of those LA real estate, real whatever horror movies, like kind of like The Invitation. If you haven't seen that, that's pretty good too. Based on where couples invite people over and something dark ends up happening. Horror type shit, but this one took a little while to get to the slashing and stuff, but I don't want to spoil it, so I'm going to do my best here to do a quick review because I am tired. I'm about to go to bed, but I wanted to review it for y'all while it's still fresh on my mind. Got an 86% Rotten Tomatoes, 5.6 out of 10 IMDb, and it must be still new because they don't even have the premise here on Google, so I'm going to click on IMDb. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a 90%. Actually, you know what? 80%. I don't know. It's stuck between 80 and 90 because it was good. It wasn't phenomenal. The only reason I don't give it a higher score is because the twist I saw coming from a mile away. I mean, you might too. If you watch it, let me know if you saw the twist coming or did it surprise you when it happened. I'm pretty sure you have to have a brain about this big to see it coming because it's so blatantly obvious. Because you know it's a horror comedy, and pretty much you get comedy up until the movie's so far in. You're like, okay, the horror part's gotta happen eventually, and it's easy to put the conclusion together. But anyway, here's the premise. Plot summary, I should say. Adam and Margot's housewarming party is a success. One couple linger after the other guests, revealing themselves to be wealthy neighbors. As one nightcap leads to another, Adam and Margot suspect their new friends are duplicitous strangers. Duplicitous strangers. Yeah, so I'm gonna do my best here without spoiling. It basically starts off. It's your typical douchebag guy who they get this nice house in the hills, and they got a hell of a deal on it. And basically, he's throws a party with all of his work friends to show off his new fancy house and how successful he is, and just typical douche stuff. And you can tell right away everybody there is like thrown off. They think he's a cornball and a snob and a douche, and it's funny because it's so obvious he just wants the attention and the whatever. He wants to show off that he's like successful now and he's got this awesome house, blah blah blah. But there is a couple who are at the party, and after everyone leaves, they say, yeah, that really young, cool couple that was stylish, whatever, they were your friends, he says to his wife, because they're talking about how they didn't really interact with each other's friends, and she's like, no, those were your friends, and he's like, huh? And then it turns out they're the neighbors, and they were coming over to complain about someone in a Prius knocking over their lamp things in the driveway, and then they saw it was a party, and they invited themselves in. Kind of suspect, right? That's as much spoiler as I'm going to try to give. I promise. I want to talk about spoilers because I really want to get into it, but that's for you to watch the movie your damn self, so I won't. But I will just say it's whatever messaging. Everybody who does reviews says it's messaging. Like, I don't know what I was gonna say, but it's about, it shows guys trying to prove his status in the world and whatever, and his importance in society, and how he's high class now, and blah blah blah. And these guests, unexpected guests, start to like play these kind of mind games with the couple, and they're like spending guy on guy time, bonding, and then the girls, they do their thing, and he reveals to The guy, he didn't necessarily tell his wife the whole backstory about how he got the house so cheap. Apparently, there was a murder, a brutal murder. The movie's just, it's a fun ride. It's like you're at a party, and once it gets past midnight, it's like you're just waiting for the horror part to happen. But it's really just comedy, really, with a little bit of darkness at the end. And it's a fun ride the whole way through. The pacing's good, the acting is really good. Yeah, it just keeps you guessing a little bit, but in some ways you are gonna pretty much realize the twist before it actually happens. You're gonna know what's about to go down. At least I did. But it still was funny. It's still pretty fun, even though I knew what was coming. And at first you're thinking like, oh, are they gonna try to get in between their marriage or whatever? And are they just swingers? And then a more sinister kind of thing develops, but I won't spoil anymore. Just watch it. It's fun. I wouldn't really call it a horror, even though it's classified as a comedy horror. It's more like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a comedy. It's a fun little movie. I think it's like 90 minutes. It's kind of short, not too long. I think it's on Shudder. Um, so yeah, check it out. It's a good little flick. Good little thriller, psychological horror flick. And I really liked it. So I would give it between 80 and 90%, probably 90% for just a simple thriller. Yeah, it's just a good, simple thriller with really good comedy about unlikable people that are douchebags, pretty much, and psychopaths, and PTSD, whatever. Don't want to spoil anything. So, if you watch it, let me know, and you liked it, let me know what you thought about the movie. That's the review on Who Invited Them. And sorry, it seemed kind of rushed. Tired, about to go to bed, so just want to knock this one out. Check out Who Invited Them, and thanks for watching Foeontheflicks.